Hi, this is Mrs. Booth with Lauka 5th grade ELA Read Alouds for Study Island. Today we're doing actually part 2 of structures of text. So there's a part 1, a part 2, a part 3, and a part 4. So be best if you watch those in order. So go ahead and open your Study Island lesson and you can see where we're picking up as soon as I start the next screen, and follow along, and then you'll be ready to open this topic and complete 10 practice questions. Okay, so this is structures of text part 2, and we're talking about now parts of a text or building parts. There are many different types of writing, and each type of writing has its own special structure or way it is built. Poems, plays, and stories are types of writing that are made up of different parts. For example, play or dramas are stories told by characters talking to each other. Not all stories are written for people to read. Some stories are written for people to watch. Just like stories, plays have a plot, tell a story, and have characters. As the characters talk, the story moves on to different scenes or acts. A scene is a small chunk of a play. A scene usually has just one event, like a conversation or a fight. An act is made up of many scenes. Acts, or an act, is a big chunk of a play. It's like a chapter in a book. So here's an example. This one's called Summer Break. Here it lists the characters of Phil, Shannon, Jenna, and Les, and it gives you the stage is a state park campsite. Now we'll read through one act and one scene. So Phil says, "Let's hike up to the top of the cliffs." Shannon, in a whining voice, says, "It's too far. It's also too hot." Phil says, "What do you think, Janet?" Janet says, "We need more water if we're going to hike all the way up there." Les says, "Let's go swimming in the lake. It will be more fun. It will cool us off." Phil says, "Great idea." Shannon says, "I hope the water's not too cold. Swimming does sound better than hiking, though." And Janet says, "I'm all for it." Now, something fun that you can do is take this scene and find a few friends or maybe some siblings to help you read through it. And then you would get a sense of the different voices of the characters in this play. Poetry has a special structure because it is not written in sentences and paragraphs. It is written in lines and stanzas. The lines and stanzas give the poetry a different look. A line is a small chunk of a poem. It is one group of words that reads from left to right. It looks like one row in a poem. There are 8 lines in the poem called Greetings from an Alien. A stanza is a big chunk of a poem. It is one group of lines. Stanzas are separated by spaces between lines. The first 4 lines of Greetings from an Alien make up the first stanza. There are 2 stanzas in the poem. Okay, so just to illustrate that, this part right here is called a stanza. So this poem has 1, 2 stanzas. And you can tell because there's separation between with lines. Greetings from an Alien by Marcy Roper. With only one eye and bright green skin, I look like a toy from a store's big bin. I may look different, I might even look scary, but I'm a lot like you and I love to eat dairy. Stories sound like the way people talk every day. They are made up of groups of sentences. The groups are organized into paragraphs and chapters. A paragraph is a small part of a story. A paragraph might tell you about one event in a story. A chapter is a big chunk of a story. Each chapter is about a different part of the story. A chapter has a number or a title. This is called Chapter 3 of Benito is Found, a chapter book. After the police had searched for Benito all over town, they finally found him in his backyard. He had fallen asleep, tired from the basketball practice. Nobody had thought of checking the hammock where Benito lay asleep. He was too tired to notice the crowd gathered around him. When Mrs. Rosa removed the towel from Benito's face, she cried in joy to find her son in one piece. Benito woke up to the sound of his mother crying, jumped out of the hammock, and stood up to face the crowd.